And when you present ideas like that are so linked together, so personable, if I'm just talking to you as a student, it's a lot less daunting than hearing something from a professor. It's a lot more relatable. So that's the idea really behind Student Peacemakers, is to have a community of students talking amongst each other and spreading some seriously great ideas. So the mission statement for the organization is to promote a culture of peace and inclusivity. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how we've tried to do that and how we will do that in the future. Something important to know, we're relatively new on campus. We're only registered this past semester, but we've got some very lofty and ambitious goals coming up. Our first event that we did was an event on climate change, which falls in our purview, much like it falls in the UN purview, because we recognize the importance, we recognize that climate change will be a contentious issue in the future if we don't deal with it now. And so that was one of our big first events on campus. The next event, and really the one I want to push, because it's coming up on December 9th, is our Peacemakers Forum for Dialogue. So the Forum for Dialogue, we've invited all of the religious organizations on campus, and they're going to come. We're going to meet December 9th in the multi-purpose room at Rutgers, or in the Student Center. And it's going to be a discussion, an interfaith discussion. All of the groups invited that will be attending will have a minute or two to talk about why they're faithful, why they've chosen, to follow a particular religion. Does it fulfill them, or this is the thing that motivates them to live. And the idea is, among other things, to dispel some stereotypes. If you hear from an actual Muslim or an actual Jewish person, why they follow their faith, it's a different narrative than the one you hear on TV. It's a different one. When you turn on CNN, we by and large hear, when we hear religions on CNN, we hear religious extremism, things are going on with ISIS, conflicts in Israel. But if you hear from an actual student talking to you, and again, this could be your friend or your roommate or your classmate, you suddenly get a much different picture and a much different feel of what the faith actually is. And in addition to their sort of 1 to 2 minute speech, they'll have a performance. This can be anything from a Holy Scripture reading to a traditional dance. And the idea is, if you're attending as a Rutgers student that's not affiliated, you can really get a better sense of I knew what Islam was, I knew what Judaism was, but I never really thought about it like that. I never really engaged with it from that point of view, because it's really a unique point of view coming to you from another person just like you, just like from another student. And that's really the big event. So you're formally all invited to this event on December 9th. There's flyers in the back, and I'll be here. There's a bunch of peacemakers here today, and we'll be happy to talk to you about it. We'll be in the back. Aside from that, we have, for next semester coming up, among other things, we have a cool concert for peace idea, where we've gotten in touch with some local bands in New Brunswick, and they've agreed to play pro bono and for the children, kind of, for peace. And we'll be using those donations to help several children's charities. And so we'll be raising money for children, and you guys can engage with some cool local New Brunswick bands, and they get some publicity. So this is an all-win situation. So these are the kinds of things we're doing. And the idea here is not to promote a particular candidate or promote a particular ideology or whatever. It's really about, it's apolitical, and we're just dealing with specific social issues that we think we can all agree on. And we think that if people think more like this, or people can be inclusive and not judgmental, this will be a benefit for everyone growing up. As we know, we're the future leaders of this country. The people sitting in this room right now are the future leaders in the international realm, and these are the people that we need to be changing your mind. We need to be talking. There needs to be a discussion between us, because we'll be leading this country and in the international community in the future. So I encourage all of you to sort of talk to me if you're interested in all of what I'm saying, and I encourage you all to come to the event, the Forum for Dialogue, on December 9th. On behalf of myself and all the peacemakers, thank you so much.